Hello there. A wee while ago, I spoke to you and I mentioned that I had found my old disassociation letter from the Jehovah's Witnesses. I wrote it in 2004, although I had been out for maybe about a year before that, or maybe even 18 months. So I promised that I would read it. I hope it gives you some ideas if you're writing one yourself, and maybe it'll give you a bit of incentive or a bit of guidance on your own letter. I was told it was very good back in the days I wrote it. Uh, Obviously, there's even more you could say nowadays, but it's mine anyway. And if you think it's any use, you're more than welcome to steal it. And if you want a copy of it, give me your email address and I'll send you a copy. Okay, so I'll read it real quick. It only takes 2 minutes, and I'll be done. Okay. I am writing. I wrote it to the Brooklyn branch. I didn't write it to my local hall. I sent it straight to Brooklyn. So I am writing for the first and last time as a member of the Jehovah's Witness religion. I was raised in the faith and baptized at the age of 12 at the congregation in Lisburn. I remained part of that congregation until 2000 and something, when I stopped going, mainly because of the cruel treatment I received at the hands of several elders. During the last 4 years, I've had no visits from the shepherds in my hall. No one has tried to encourage me back into association, and during that time I've looked into your religion very deeply, and as I'm sure you will know, found you wanting. I discovered the broken promises, the half-truths and lies you've told for over 100 years. I learnt the things you try so desperately to hide from the witnesses, too many to go into in one letter. I have learnt that many elders know these things too. My circuit overseer has said on the platform, there are many things I don't believe, but I still teach them. All my local elders know the things mentioned in the various publications outlining the wrong teachings and wrong practices of your religion, but they continue to persist in this great lie. What hurts the most is not your lies, but the results those lies have had on so many millions of lives. I think of the parents who refused to inoculate their children because you said it was filthy animal pus. I think about the men and women left with no provision for old age and no children to provide for them because of your emphasis on this end of the system of things and not wanting to bring our children into this sick old system. Finally, I think of the people who have died because of your wrong blood policy, my own sister nearly being one of the victims. I have seen so many good people in your religion. However, I have seen so many cruel and evil ones too. Your claim to be uniquely clean is as false as the worship you offer God. I won't go into the things I or my family have suffered because of your teachings, but before I end my letter, I wanted to say a few things. You were not picked out in 1914 to oversee all God's possessions on earth. God does not choose you. God does not deal with selfish, arrogant men who hide in ivory towers while ordering good people to live under burdens they would never touch. You're not protecting Jehovah's name by hiding the abusers of children in your church. By doing this, you only insult him and allow abusers to continue for longer. You're not helping men become Christians by making them get out on the service once a week, while ignoring the old and the sick. My own presiding overseer, a man in his late 70s, once said, I don't like visiting the elderly. An old woman in my hall was so long ignored in her hall, she asked the sisters who eventually saw her, have I been disfellowshipped? You are a wonderful example of straining the gnat while swallowing a camel. You worry about the colour of shirts brothers wear on the platform or whether they should have a beard or not. But you ignore the most important things in a Christian life, namely love of your fellow man and not judging him. You have spent so long telling the world how evil Christendom is, but they would shudder at things that you do every day. And while I know of the despicable acts of some churches, I also know that they understand the concept of asking for forgiveness. You've never said sorry for your sins, you've only ever blamed others or even the victims. I continue to hold warm feelings for many men and women in my hall, and I am aware of the consequences of my actions, but I cannot be associated with this thoroughly unchristian group any longer. Please make this known to my local congregation as soon as possible. I wrote that in 2004. It's now 2015, 11 years later. I have yet to receive a reply. And as of today, no elder has ever visited me. Anyway, I'm glad about that. That's my disassociation letter. I hope it's of interest to you. It was nice for me to see it again, and I wish you to have a good day. And maybe you'll write your own one soon. Bye bye.